Hi, I'm Dennis Gage. Thanks for tuning into My Classic Car, home of the certified car nut. Well, this week we're back out in California to Jay Leno's place. Always great to see what he's got going. Jay!
Oh!
Sorry to scare you, man. The door was open. I just sort of
It was open?
Yeah, well, I just thought I'd come by and see what's...
Yeah, it's good to see you.
Yeah, it's always...
Good to see you.
Yeah, sure it is.
Well, today, the kind of theme today, I think, is lightweight sports cars. You know, power to weight ratio is really what it's all about. And there's a whole generation of sports car enthusiasts out there that don't really know what a lightweight car is. Mm-hmm. You know, even the new Corvette's about as light as it comes, and that's like 3,200 pounds. But back in the day, you had cars like the Lotus Elan, 1,500, 1,600 pounds.
Fiberglass body car, right?
Fiberglass body. These are extremely light cars. The McLaren F1 is probably the lightest of all the modern sports cars. That's this one here.
Yeah.
This was designed by Gordon Murray. This is about 2,400 pounds. About the
Really?
same
That's
as
all that is?
About the same as a Miata with 627 horsepower. This one, also designed by Gordon Murray, is a car called the Rocket. It's road legal. Headlights pop up. This is 775 pounds. And probably the latest one into this foray would be the Ariel Atom. These were designed in England. This one was built here in America, designed by a man named Simon Saunders. In Europe, it uses a Honda Acura motor. I like American power. I wanted to build one using American power plant. So we use the Chevy Cobalt motor, which I think is actually a better motor because it's fully balanced and the crank drives off the center and it's got a supercharger, and that's about 300 horsepower. So this has about the same power to weight ratio as probably the Bugatti Veyron. You've got close to 300 horsepower and it weighs 1,375 pounds.
So you kind of start out here with the Elans, kind of the early versions of the lightweight sports cars. You go to the supercars and the McLaren. But these are out there. These are on the market.
These are on the market. I've had this one a long time. This came out in '91. Obviously, cars got heavier because you had to have airbags, door guards, all kinds of safety equipment. These cars don't have any of that. But if you want the thrill and the power of a 917 Porsche or a McLaren F1 or even a ZR1 Corvette, and you can't afford that, if you're willing to do without a windshield, a windshield wiper, a door, any of
body.
that. Well, see, it's interesting because the real trick to building a supercar is not necessarily making it fast or making it handle. The real trick to selling a car that's $500,000 is getting the windows to seal and the wipers to work and all the little things.
Cup holders.
Yeah, but it's true.
No,
but I mean,
you're
all
right.
those little things. So if you do away with them, if you do away with the doors, you do away with the windshield, you just make it, I mean, this is a strong, if you get hit with an SUV in the side of this thing, boom, you'll slide. This isn't going to collapse. This is stronger than any door guard. So you're just a bit more out there in the elements. And you get a sensation of real speed. You know, when you drive a Corvette or a Porsche and you're going 100,
it's like,
it feels like
nice,
60.
Yeah.
60 feels like 100. And that's sort of the opposite. And that's what makes it a lot of fun. I mean, bang for the buck, these kind of cars are just terrific, terrific fun. And in England, they do very well. In England, something that's become very popular lately, something called track days, where you take your car to the track and you drive around and race, and then you drive it home again. And that's what this is. This is basically a stock Chevy Cobalt. We've modified it a little bit. 300 horsepower, 1,300 pounds. Do the math. And you see it fits in here pretty nicely.
Indeed it does.
Yeah.
And that's just, I mean, is that a stock Cobalt engine, or what
That's
have you
a stock
done?
Cobalt engine. Well, we've tweaked it a little bit, but basically it's stock. Yeah, I mean, it puts out more than enough power. They say it's 300 horse. It's dynoing about 245, 250, but that's okay. It's enough to get the job done today.
It'll get you to the grocery store.
And
back.
it's a lot of fun.
Welcome back to My Classic Car.
But before we drive this one, let me show you this one. This is kind of an interesting car. This is built by Gordon Murray, who also built, as I said, the F1 McLaren. This one weighs just 775 pounds. It's a two-seater. That pops off. See, the person sits back there, and you put your feet up the side, like you're going to the gynecologist. Just
Nice.
You have the stirrups along the side there. You've got a Yamaha 1000cc engine, 147 horsepower in the back.
That's kind of tight.
Well, this moves forward.
Okay.
See, the nice thing about this car is you can be 8 feet tall because your feet go all the way up to here. It's rear engine. It's 147 horsepower. You've got 12 speeds, 6 high, 6 low. It revs to 13,000 RPM. It just screams.
So the power plant is what?
It's Yamaha. It's a Yamaha 5-valve Genesis engine, motorcycle, 1,000 cc.
So yeah, you can
It's
rev.
Connected to a Weissman transmission. Weissman, who does all the F1 gearboxes and did the transmission for the F1 McLaren, they built a special gearbox for this. So it's sequential, just bam, bam, bam. You just bang through the gears. It's fantastic to drive.
And these little, is that that's the passenger handles?
Those are passenger grab handles. As you can see, it's almost like a birdcage type frame. You see how nicely done. This is not a kit car. This is a full-out road car for the street. Extremely comfortable, extremely fast.
So 700 pounds.
Well, it's not 775, about 800 pounds.
800 pounds.
You know, as I said, your headlights pop up here.
Yeah, I think that's a great feature.
Kind of cool. And the nice thing is, it's so skinny. You know, when you're in your lane, you can go wide without necessarily crossing the double line. But it's as close to driving an F1 car in the street as you could possibly find.
And just sticks to the ground like
amazing. And like I say, brakes last forever, brake pads last forever because you're not stopping 4,000 pounds. You know, it's amazing how technology is advanced in lightweight materials. This McLaren F1 weighs just about half what the Lamborghini Countach weighs. Lamborghini Countach is almost 4,000 pounds. It's about 2,400 pounds, so just a little more than half.
And is this? I see carbon fiber in the fenders and stuff. Also carbon or just
this
fiber?
to keep the price down. This is just lightweight fiberglass. That's got a lot of carbon fiber in it as well. But that chassis is a bit structurally more massive because that's got double the horsepower of this, but it's also got twice the weight. So anytime you increase horsepower, anytime you increase weight, you've got to increase horsepower.
Is this considered a production car? I mean, do they
they sell these in Europe. They're not really. I believe this is the only one in the United States. When this came out, it was the same price as a Porsche, and I think it's easier to get the wife into a Porsche. You know, even the Porsche is a hard sell. You show up with this, hey, all right, you're at the Oakwood Garden Apartments, you're making your own stir-fry vegetable. I mean, yeah, so, yeah, you have to have a very understanding wife.
Unfortunately, you do.
Yes.
So sequential transmission,
yeah,
Yamaha engine, glued to the road.
Yeah, wonderful driving car.
Got to be a blast.
But that's the one we're going to drive today.
And that works for me.
This is built under license here in America. This one's built by a company named Bramo. They have since sold the rights to another company, I believe in Virginia. And it's a little bit different than the European model. The European model just has carbon fiber buckets. This has a little bit of padding, a few more creature comforts. I like this Ecotec motor. Some people like the Honda motor. I just like going with the American stuff. It's an American-made car. It's an English car built under license by an American company. And incredibly strong, and cars don't get much more visceral than this.
No, I would say.
Steering wheel pops out, and you've got all the electronic shift lights and, you know, all the trick things.
So there's no body per se, but
No.
all your protection comes from the frame, the cage,
right, the frame, and it doesn't flex at all. It's incredibly strong.
And is it aluminum or no?
No,
steel?
that's steel, yeah.
Okay.
That's steel.
And carbon fiber everywhere.
Carbon fiber everywhere. And
What's the transmission in it?
transmission is a GM Saab unit, 5-speed.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So quite quick.
Interesting suspension system.
Well, you know, it's fun because there aren't many cars that when you're driving, when you press the brake pedal, you can actually see the caliper working. You know, when you're sitting behind the wheel, you can look down and see the caliper do this. You can see the shocks moving. You can actually, it's a bit like when you were a kid and you bought that thing, the Invisible Man, you know. And you
Inside, right there.
Certain parts were always missing on the Invisible Man. And the guys that bought the Invisible Woman, terribly disappointed by that as well. But the things that we had in common were all there. And this same thing with this, the things that has in common with most cars, your shock absorbers, your brakes. It's just fun. You get to see everything moving and going up and down, and it's a very basic elemental automobile.
I mean, this is very F1 looking in terms of
It is
the
F1
intake.
looking. This is your intake. You'll hear that supercharger screaming as we get on the throttle.
And it's really packed in there, too. I mean, but I
Yeah,
guess you
there's
just pull this off and it's right there.
Yeah, there's no wasted space, easy to tune. Like I say, when you get rid of all the stuff you don't need on a car, doors, trunk, windshield wiper, radio, all that stuff, that's all a lot of weight. And what you have left is a basic car.
Wow. And it's street legal?
It's street legal. Well, let's find out.
Okay, it works for me.
You're ready to go.
Still ahead, Jay fires up the aerial atom and we prepare for takeoff. Welcome back to My Classic Car.
As you see, you have a full dashboard. You can pop this off. Tachometer, speedometer, all indicator lights as you would have. Horn. And you have shift lights on here. When you hit red line, it comes up pretty quick in this thing.
I got 5 on. Are there any more I can put on?
I think you're all right. And you're ready to begin motoring.
Yeah, you can see it all, man. I can see everything. The world is open to me under here. Man, you see everything.
And you really get a sensation of speed being out in the open like that.
Yeah.
Four-wheel motorcycle is not a bad description. Gotta eat your hemi-cooters alive.
Anything else on 4 wheels?
Oh man, sometimes I think Jay gets a kick out of scaring the hell out of me and destroying my stash all at the same time. Funny how those two things usually go hand in hand. This little screamer could also give you a G-force facelift. Just look at those wrinkles disappear.
Let's let Dennis give it a try.
What do you think? Something straight.
That's from fear, not speed.
Stay close. I'm about to get behind the wheel of Jay's street legal Ariel Atom. Welcome back to My Classic Car.
We're gone. Thing's like a go-kart on an acid trip.
That's right. If the excitement lasts more than 4 hours, see your doctor. The job of a riding mechanic is to always make sure the helmet stays on the driver's head.
Very important. You can't get these hats just anywhere, you know.
And actually, these cars are more environmentally friendly. They cost less to produce, they use less materials, and they're very lightweight, and they use less fuel. And they go fast.
Really, really fast. I have to say, Jay, I've never driven anything like this.
It's pretty neat, isn't it?
It is an experience unto itself.
Yeah.
Oh, man. This thing's a rocket ship. Now, Jay's got some wild cards, but this takes the cake. It's a lot like that McLaren F1.
It is.
Maybe we can take that out sometime.
We'll take that out.
Yes!
Next time.
Yes!
Next week, we'll travel to Devil's Lake, North Dakota for Devil's Run. This town pulls out all the stops to put on an awesome rod run and a killer car show. Plus, we'll check out some new wheels to update your ride.
So until our next meeting, remember, honor the timeless classics. I'm Dennis Gage in an Ariel Atom. Happy motoring.